Welcome to Evergreen Tales. Today we will be discussing care tips and how to propagate Philodendron Rio. Philodendron Rio is a rare, heartleaf philodendron cultivar known for its creamy silver and white variegated leaves. It has a trailing growth habit, is relatively low maintenance, and prefers bright, indirect light. This plant is a sport of the Philodendron Brazil and is distinct from its parent by the silver-white coloration instead of yellow-green. I planted this plant on February 2024. Today this plant is around 2.5 years old and now ready for propagation. This is the size of plant and actual photo of the plant I received. To grow a Philodendron Rio from cuttings, take a stem cutting with at least one node and one leaf, and place it in either water or potting mix. Water propagation is much more easy and you can see the plant growing its root and observe the node development. Today we will be discussing all about water propagation. In water propagation, submerge the node and change the water every 3 to 4 days. This water change will help to replenish oxygen level in water and will not allow mosquito larvae to grow in water. Once roots develop, transplant to potting mix in 4 to 6 inch pot with well drainage hole. Once the cutting is planted, keep the potting mix moist, providing bright, indirect sunlight. Now you can see that there is a light green bud-shaped structure which is known as growth point or node, and along with it you can also see a brown structure which is aerial root from which our future root development will happen. The new roots will be coming from this same point. Now let's understand how, and from where we have to cut the plant. We have to make a cut between the stem and each cutting should have at least one leaf and one root point and one growth point or node. For this particular case, we are taking a stem which has been grown from a previous growth point, which was in the parent plant, and will cut the stem off from the end. This is the end point of our stem of our plant and we will just snap it from here. Now we'll split this into further cuttings and we will have few of single leaf cuttings and one top cutting. So see, this is the first, second, third and fourth central cutting, and this is the top cutting. As you can see, there is one node, one aerial root and one leaf and stem on both sides of the node in each of these cuttings. Now let's prepare a pot filled with water for our cuttings. Make sure that there is no drainage hole in the pot. You should use a clay, plastic or any kind of glass bottle available with you. Clean it properly and fill it with water. Now dip our cuttings into the water directly. Make sure the node, growth point and the aerial root point is fully submerged in water. Just exactly like shown in this video. It's preferable to have a separate pot for each of the cutting. Otherwise you can also place more cuttings in one pot. Placing more than one cutting per pot can cause infection from one cutting to another. Now place your cutting to a place with indirect sunlight area and with high humidity. I prefer my kitchen window near the sink as water in surrounding areas can increase the overall humidity. As you can see, new water roots are developed and our growth point has also shoot a new leaf. Now at this point of time you can plant it in potting mix in 4 to 6 inches depth of pot. Now you can see, we have planted this in our potting mix in a white disposable glass with a drain hole at the bottom of the glass. We have used 25% of coco peat, 20% of garden soil, 25% of vermicompost, 10% of perlite, 10% sand and 10% of clay balls. Very soon I will share a detailed video about how to make potting mix for different plants. Major thing what matters while making a potting mix is moisture retention, airflow in soil and drainage flow. You can use different materials available locally to achieve the same results. These are few other cuttings which I propagated around 60 days back. You can see the new growth at this point. The plant is fully stable and is now a separate plant which has been successfully propagated. Similarly, in this cutting, we can also notice new growth is happening. These are the Philodendron Rio along with the mother plant which I have propagated in last 60 days. This is the mother plant now doing very well and growing fantastically. And see, our little cuttings are turning into plants. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment and subscribe to Evergreen Tales.